We hear it constantly. Separation of church and state must be imposed at all costs. But the real cost is to suffer under a state separated from every moral constraint. We must be ready to say, we ought to obey God rather than men. Don't want church and state? You'll get synagogue and state instead to fill the vacuum. Why else did Netanyahu meet with Clinton and Trump at the height of the elections? If it was Putin, all hell would break loose. Why does Bibsy get a free pass? And why do we see a Hanukkah menorah on the White House lawn every December with a head of state and a gang of rabbis lighting the candlestick? It all smacks of synagogue and state to me. And with it, 7 deadly sins infest the body politic. The plague broke out in 1911 when B'nai B'rith pushed to remove the Bible from public schools. In 1913, Paul Warburg pillaged the Constitution by creating the Federal Reserve that loans money to the government at interest. The borrower is slave to the moneylender, and the Jews own the franchise. In 1917, the war machine sent Gentile boys off to war. War is a racket, and Jews like Jacob Schiff and Walter Rothschild finance it. In 1933, Rabbi Stephen Wise organized anti-Hitler rallies calling to end the German menace. The enemy of the Jews became the enemy of America. Sound familiar? In 1938, Louis Brandeis urged FDR to deport Palestinians to Jordan. And ever since, they're continually being pushed out. In 1958, Elie Wiesel brought his book Night to New York and into the public schools. The Jews got the Bible out and Holocaustianity in. In 2015, 4 Jews twisted the 14th Amendment into a breeding ground for homosexual marriages. What began with Roe versus Wade that murdered the unborn was finalized in 2015 that murdered the family. Count it up. Toss God out. Create dollars. Add money lending. Devise an enemy. Enable Zionism. Instill pity for enslavers. Debauch society. And you've got 7 deadly sins pervading the body politic. Synagogue and state has killed the republic. And you still want separation of church and state? When the house is swept clean, 7 demons enter in. We can either have a Jewish America or a Christian America. There is no in between.